Okay, so no synth here yet. However, I have to give you a little disclaimer. The thing is gigantic and it weighs, I think, 13 kilos. So bear with me. Oh my goodness. First things first. Now we need to plug this thing in. Okay. So, next thing is going to be this one here, and that is probably going to be on the headphone jack or line out. We can try both probably. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to have it more centered maybe. Like this. Yeah, that's almost good. We can still not see what it is called. Okay, Chibechi. Opa! Now we can finally see what synth it is. Whew. Okay, I will be right back. So, this one is turned on, this one is turned on. Okay, I always like to try it with an effect pedal right away, because you can straight see the potential of this thing. Doesn't say that there is not much potential without that, but it's just so much better, because this analog delay by Nux kind of works like a reverb as well, because of the delay time being just exaggerated in a way. And this thing is the Casio CT6000, and this synthesizer came out 42 years ago. So it came out in 1984, and it has some history, I would say, and it has a lot of people that love it for its sound. I would almost say it sounds very close to the most famous Yamaha ones that every synth lover has to know, the CS80. However, there's a lot of drum beats on there as well, and there's a lot of combinations like the unisons that are super awesome for giving fatter leads. So here we have unison 1, unison 2, unison 3, and we have different effects, so ensemble, celeste, I don't really know what that is, so there's lots to learn also. There's a delayed vibrato, there's the vibrato, then we have piano, electric piano, honky donk piano, harpsichord, funky clavey, vibraphone, pipe organ, jazz organ, and so on. Also, I don't really know what that is, but it's a simple layout in a way that there is a lot of combinations of effects. Unison is something that kind of gives it more layers, especially in the fifth and I think the third, I'm not so sure, not always. And then there's something called Casio chord with free bass chord. I don't even know what all of this stuff is. It has memory. Here we have also a bigger section, so we have piano, guitar, synth sound, organ and strings, and we can even record and so on. So really lots to get out of this thing. So we're going to turn it on real fast and just see how things are going to go. The piano is classic. Now let me just check. I need to change a little bit, so I need to turn this on and I need to start hit. I need to hit rec here. Okay, so I hope we're getting a signal now, but the question, okay, let's just see if it goes. Yes, it goes. Okay, make the loudness a little louder. We can kind of hear the effect of the delay already. And for me, I'm always just trying to play around. I'm never gonna be perfect with playing because, yeah, I don't know, my fingers don't really seem clumsy or something, but I guess they are. And I just also love when there's something weird happening sometimes. Is that sometimes it misses a key. I mean, yeah, you can't blame it. This thing is really old and the sensors are probably a little bit worn out of the individual keys. Some seem to be a little, yeah, this one for example. Okay, I'm annoying again, I know, because I'm making sounds. So we have this thing now, and we have the blend function all the way down, so we can't even hear the real effects. So let's try this again. There's a fly bugging the hell out of me right now. Okay, so I am just really a little bit overwhelmed all overall. I think we're gonna try and just start a drum track and actually just enjoy ourselves for a second. Come on, get sharp. What is this? Okay, start. Okay, this is not the only thing we want to try. I mean, we can go maybe at first a little bit through the drums and just listen to the drums. However, I feel like this is not so playful, so maybe we just go to the electric piano real fast. And you can see that the weight of this thing, which is 13 kilos, I think it plays a significant role in the sound. And the same goes with the CS80. It's gigantic. It's all hand wired. And this thing is probably close to that as well. And that makes it just sound very pure, and it touches the heart, as my friend likes to say. And just the honky piano sounds great on this. So I mean, wow, if the honky piano, which always sounds like absolute trash, sounds good, I mean, wow, amazing. So, and I don't know, like they're quite rare, but you can pick them up sometimes really cheap because, I don't know, like you gotta be a little bit of a synth nerd or something like I am to understand the possibility also for music production. I mean, I would probably never carry this around and play live with it because you see all the chords. But if you have theoretically infinite tries, you can carry this thing at least to the little workstation, run it into a mixer, and you will have a great production tool that just, yeah, takes up a lot of space and weighs a lot. But if you have the possibility and you have some kind of dry rooms where you can store it, I mean, go for it for sure. It's really cool, and that's why I also got it, because I like those old synths just for the nostalgia, kind of. Yeah, this one is really problematic. Okay, so maybe we try a vibrato. Yeah, the vibrato is subtle, cannot really be changed. However, it sounds really good. It's subtle effects, and often subtle effects are better because they don't kill the sound, kind of. Okay, so we try the delayed vibrato now. And it gives it almost like a different phase. So the phase starts at a different point, making it, I don't know, it makes it sound a little, yeah, like almost a different tonality, which it is not necessarily. It's just a different, it is just a different starting point where the vibrato starts, and that is really cool that it has that, especially for that time. Sustain is obvious. Like I said in the last video. Oh, it's really cool. You can have sustain and vibrato also together, which is also really nice. However, sustain, come on. Sustain is, in the 80s, it always was a button. I mean, I think you can have an expression pedal running into all of this as well. However, you can also just hit the button. And I don't know what that is, really. It makes it almost sound like there is some kind of small verb space on it. And some kind of ticklish high tonalities. Okay, we tried the ensemble now, or we're going to try the ensemble now. Here it also has a pitch bend, so we could try this out real fast. Okay. it also has a glissando, and I'm not sure what that is. Sounds almost like a little bit of a face also, but that kind of, maybe I'm tripping, I don't know. What is this? Range control. Range control. I'll just leave it, I don't even know. Like, these are the kind of things that take a while to figure out, I guess. Yeah, so this one I'm not allowed to say on here, I believe. So we try it out real fast. Okay, so it kind of changed to piano. It's louder. I don't even know. Free bass chord. Oh yeah, so it gives the bass section. That is very classical on these 80s kind of instruments. Yeah, and it also says Casio chord, so that means, yeah, that makes sense. It was so you could play with the left hand, you could play the bass. And you could play the whole, like, synth or clavier section. Yeah, this one. With your right hand. And so I want to try skip a little bit through the whole sounds. Guitar sounds kind of crazy. And we can also choose, oh yeah, it says accompanying, meaning you can actually have multi-layer instruments. And we will get away the sustain, we don't want that right now. We will leave the ensemble also gone. Yeah, can we do both? Unison and? We can do both. Let's try unison 1. Okay, unison 1. I mean really, this is a powerhouse in my opinion. Wow, fantastic. Yeah, and that sounds like a guitar or maybe a harp, or I don't know, like, not necessarily. However, we're just trying to skip through. Oh! That is actually a really good bass sound, very crunchy. So yeah, this was so worth it. Okay, so we're trying to change this now to vibraphone. So I think these vibraphone sounds are what was very famous in the 80s, because that was almost what FM synthesis made possible. And I don't really know if this is a combination of an FM synth and another synth or something. However, I guess these vibraphone sounds, they can also be achieved with different kind of ways of synthesis. However, yeah, they are famous for the FM synths. I don't know what theme that is, but it's very famous. I feel like it's from a hip-hop song. Sounds almost like a humming. Okay, so let's go on. Maybe we try the funky clavi. So if you enjoy these videos and you want to support me, I also make these videos where I produce full sets that you can check out via the description, via the Patreon. This is a set I use, the DSR 500, a classic synth that is well known for its FM synthesis, which just sounds like a Kraftwerk, but what came out of this sounded like another Gran Turismo soundtrack. I've made a bunch of those already. Go check it out. Okay, very, very powerful. So, yeah, I'm gonna skip a little bit through it. So, some key seems to be stuck. Maybe it's also the setting, so that you have something to play over, which makes sense for an organ, actually. And yeah, we have this reverb effect of the delay pedal, and we can kind of crank it up to the max now. Oh, sorry. Okay, there is some kind of key stuck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these things come with quirks, and at some point I will probably try to fix that also. However, that probably takes a long time to get to that point. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? So we have something like this, which I have no idea what that is. Okay, trumpet. Blasted later vibrato, that is so awesome. Okay, yeah, the trumpet is wow, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I don't even know, like I'm kind of overwhelmed already, not in a bad way. However, I just feel like, what should I do? I don't know what to do here. There's also one thing that is really noticeable. I think the sound and the kind of the timbre of the sound, or like for me, I see this in colors. So different sounding things, they have different color schemes, and some are more rare, some are more bluish and purple, and for example the saxophone is this kind of turquoise, or yeah, like almost like a petrol kind of color, and these sounds are kind of rare, and to me they hit yeah, they hit something in me that makes me play. Okay, this one. That makes me like play differently, play different combinations, just have different ideas because of every key that you play tells you something where you should kind of move. I learned this on the guitar. I really learned this on the guitar a lot because it's really important, this intuition that you have on a guitar, so that you kind of hit the notes that are accompanying to what you just heard. And also what plays a big role is how long you play each note. didn't work anymore. I could see myself producing with this forever. I understand why there is lots of artists actually using this, like explicitly, just working with this on projects, and I understand why, because it's just a dreamy synth, and really, it is actually astonishing. So now we try the flute. And here the delay really shines through because of all the high frequencies, especially high frequencies get triggered way better on reverbs and delays than low frequencies. This is like why the standard rule is you don't really put a reverb on a bass sound. Doesn't necessarily need to be true. It depends on the reverb as well. If you have, for example, a big plate reverb, you will never put that on a bass because you want this shimmer of the high frequencies to get exaggerated, and it's the same thing when you are in a cathedral. The sounds in a cathedral, also the organ in a cathedral, is especially made for the vastness of the sound, so that the sound can amplify, that the room can amplify, the verb can amplify the sound of the organ. However, if you would play like a really deep bass that has a clean sinus wave and that is in a very low pitch, you would probably it will just sound washed out, and you will probably not hear when you triggered the strings of the bass. Okay, we go to synth read now. So let's try to play a classical minor scale, as far as I'm concerned at least. Also a little bit broken. Oh, that's a bummer actually. Doesn't trigger at all, it's a C. Yeah, the thing is not in perfect condition. Oh, it did play a little bit. Coming back to life, awesome. The violin I think is also really dope, and it will shine with the analog delay very much. Okay, yeah, the violin is great. It sounds a lot like our main inspiration, which is Vangelis, and electric guitar sounds how? Sounds a little bit, I think, like the funky clavi. I'm not a big fan of those sounds, but there is some tonalities and some kind of combination. Combinations with the clavi, or in this case the electric guitar, that just sound really good. However, like, I don't know, like, it just takes years to try out everything, you know, and also to make songs with everything. It's really hard to use all of this in a very short period of time. So, I mean, I'm just so glad that we are not at the point where we rent out synths for a week and then have to give them back, but we can actually own them in our home studio and have a great time for a long time. And yeah, just because we personally are just inspired by those sounds. Now we try Koto. Okay, we try the organ on the bass. Stop now. And this is so cool about this synthesizer, because this section here is like a multi-layer section for the whole bass section. And that is awesome actually, because that makes it possible to have, like, there's so many sounds on there. It makes it possible to have a bigger range when it comes to bass sounds, which oftentimes synthesizers of this time, they didn't have that. They just had this kind of standard, sinus wave sounds that sound, yeah, almost a little boring really fast, and they don't really give this synth feeling, because they just, yeah, they are not really, they don't have these crunchy high tones that you can also put effects on really easily and make them sound bigger, because with a sinus wave you just cannot do that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what the chord memory does, I have no idea. We just gonna go a little bit through everything and then probably call it a day. Didn't wanna annoy you that much. I'm looking forward to making a song with this at some point really soon, and I'm so glad I tried it out now, because it has been standing here for over 2 weeks or something. Okay, we try the synth bells. and one thing I really need to try out now is we really need to try out to play a tone and turn the knobs here. So let's try that now. We're gonna try the different unisons also. First one again. Oh. Oop. Seems like more high tones. On the unison 2, it seems like there's more low frequencies. Or maybe not. Okay, there was some kind of issue. I think we didn't try out yet the chorus. It's a very smooth and very angelic sound. And then we have the symphonic ensemble. And so for me overall, this sound and this synth sound seems like a string kind of focused synthesizer. And like I said, it came out in 1984. It is called the Casio CT6000, and it's probably one of the best Casio synths that ever came on the market. And I mean, if you ever find one and you can carry those 13 kilos home, please do it. This is now the bass on, no, it's the brass ensemble. And for me, synth sounds, especially the old ones, I mean, they were always trying to emulate real instruments. Like you can see here, the strings and electric guitar, violin, flute, and so on, trumpet. However, they all have their own kind of timbre, their own kind of color range of the sound, and this can be like repurposed almost into something that cannot really be said to sound like an ensemble or a chorus. It will just be its standalone thing, and this is what these synths are today. They are not emulations of that, and they are not used as emulations of normal instruments. However, they are more something that stands for itself and can be used in that way, especially with all the different genres that exist in today's time and age. And we have the string ensemble, so let's try this out. Okay, so powerful. The whole synth is really powerful, and we're probably going to skip a little bit through the whole drum section, and we can also try to change the volume of that a little bit and just see what kind of crazy weird sounds we get out of this. So let's just start. This is especially useful for if you want to sample the sounds on this, the hi-hat and all of this, where you can change the tempo so that you have an isolated sound. And yeah, really cool. So I'm not gonna show you all of the drums. I mean, you can sample those also from this video if you wanted to. Please feel free also, do that. This is also what this channel is for. The only thing, I want to produce some sound with this at some point and make a video about that. I hope you're looking forward to this. I hope I showed you a little bit what this thing is capable of. It's super simple, it doesn't take a long time. If you compare it, for example, with a modern synthesizer, like this one here, which took me over a year, or almost a year to actually fully grasp. It's a little confusing because the whole envelope section is called EG or whatever. Then this one is way simpler, and I think it was also for a different target audience back then. And whatever. Yes, I think this thing is, from the sounds of it, is absolutely astonishing, and this is why we love old school synthesizers. Like the real music nerds, they love the old synthesizers for its timbre, and I think it's this also, the box creates the timbre also, where the different parts, the electronic parts, vibrate also inside a little bit and kind of use this whole thing as an instrument. And this is why these things are so heavy also, because there is just lots of manually wired things inside, especially for that time. And the same goes for the CP35 by Yamaha that I own. It has this huge box accompanying to it, and if you make it really loud, then you hear the kind of chamber of the synthesizer. I mean, timbre comes from wood, and the timbre means, okay, which wood you use, and you know it from the Stradivari and so on. You need to cut down a tree at midnight or whatever on a special day of the year. Yeah, the same, I mean, goes for just these metal casings, which this is a full metal casing. And this, I think, is plastic. Yeah, it has built-in speakers. You see, it has been used for a very long time. Lots to sample out of this and to make with that. Yeah, a little quirky. Some of the keys don't work really well anymore. However, especially this section here, the tone section, and this part of the tone section is very, very special to me and sounds a lot like what inspires me when it comes to synth sounds. And yeah, it seems to be stereo as well, it says it here. So I'm so glad I picked this synth up. It's absolutely a historic thing for me, and Casio made some really good synths back in the day. So what happened, Casio? Now making watches. I understand that synthesizers is not a big market, and watches is way bigger. Yeah, so I understand that. So yeah, don't worry about it, but maybe you make a little bit of a good synth again. I would be really down for that. I would make a review about it. So yeah, Casio, hit me up. Yeah, thank you so much for watching the synth channel. And I think just for your own pleasure or something, I'll now try to use an overdrive for a very short time. So we turn it all down. Okay, maybe we hear nothing now and we hear it just over the speakers. So let's try to crank it up. It almost sounds like it's part of an old record or something with this overdrive, which gives it this kind of like little spikes basically in the wave that just give it extra kind of higher frequencies, especially that if you put an effect on afterwards, for example, you can make them sound more massive or yeah, just you can more easily put different effects on it, so you have a bigger range of effects that you can put on it, and you can kind of get the tonality to sound fatter. Yeah, so kind of how you would explain it is that you kind of give it more color. Yeah, so the color gets more intense. And yeah, this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, hit the follow button, and yeah, we're just gonna present all kinds of different synthesizers that maybe are a little bit under the radar, like this one. There's lots of artists that specialize on using the synthesizer, which was very fascinating to me, because there's other synths that don't really have this yet, like the Monologue, for example, which is just kind of famous for Aphex Twin, being part of it and building an effect into it. But this thing, it has a lot of history behind it, and yeah, check that out also. Like, just Google Casio CT6000 and which artist used it primarily, and you will see there's a bunch of names popping up that you've probably never heard of. Like, I also didn't hear of them before I got into this synthesizer, and so this is also a way to link certain artists to certain sounds. Thank you so much for watching. This is the SYNTH channel, where we talk about weird music production and synthesizers and how synthesis also works. At this point, didn't really know what I was getting into, but I really love all of these things. I love these gadgets so much, and I hope you have a great time making your music, or just playing with synthesizers or keyboards or whatever kind of instrument that you like. And I hope to see you soon in the next upcoming video, probably about the Pharaoh, which is this really tiny synthesizer that is way newer than this one, and yeah, way smaller also. So I see you, and all the best. I'm out.